Hello everybody, I hope you're all well and Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year! It's that time of year again. We are going to be tier ranking 2024 pop culture moments that altered my brain chemistry. I will say that altered my brain chemistry is for a lack of a better term. I feel like the term altered my brain chemistry is like the Gen Z version of like saying doggo or like small bean. Like I am cringing inside and I know that in a few years time I am going to regret this, but at this rate my digital footprint is the size of a small country, so let's move on. I am really excited to get into today's video and I love filming these videos. If you're new here and you weren't here for the last one, these are honestly just like chilled tier ranking fun. It's all just a little bit of fun, girls. A tier ranking video at the end of the year feels like my deserved time off. Like I have been discoursing all year. Mummy deserves a break. So we're gonna be doing tier ranking video today. And of course, I just want to thank you guys for being so supportive over this year. We hit 500k this year. I am never going to truly be able to verbalize how much you guys' support means to me. But just so you know, it really doesn't go unnoticed at all. People who support my main channel, people who support my podcast, people who follow me over on Instagram, I see you all. But yes, and not only do I want to thank you guys, I want to thank my amazing team this year. I want to thank my managers at 16th, Georgia and Georgine. I want to thank my new researcher, Leanne, and I want to thank my amazing editor, Kath, as well. Without these girls, would this even be possible? No! They honestly deserve all the praise in the world. But just before we get into it, I would love to thank Nancy for sponsoring today's video. I am so excited to tell you guys about Nancy because when the Nancy package arrived at my door, I was like, oh, this is jordantheresa embodied. Nancy are all about breaking taboos around self-pleasure, and their toys are supposed to be approachable and are designed to make self-pleasure a little less scary and a little more fun for everyone. I have two toys to show you guys today, and both of these toys come in the Beginner Bliss bundle. They're both very discreet and quiet, premium water resistant, and are made with body safe silicone and are really soft to touch. And both of these toys are external toys, which is absolutely my jam because I'm a vaginismus girly. Vaginismus girlies and havers, rise up. The first toy is the Uno, which she's chic. She's chic, she drinks red wine and reads dark academia. This is a very simple, just personal massager, but you can build the speed up on really slowly, so it's not intimidating in the slightest. Does what it says on the tin. It's very comfortable to hold and it's also very versatile. And this next toy, this toy is so cute. I can't get over how cute it is. And this is a function toy. I can't say too much because Mr. YouTube will get really mad at me, but it's essentially an elevated version of the very famous Rose toy. And this toy offers 10 different patterns. It's in the double digits. It offers 10 different patterns, so there is something for everyone. And my favorite thing about Nancy is that all of their toys come with these really cool instruction cards. Like, guys, this is so cool. It's very beginner friendly. It's very chic. Like, I want to stick these up on my wall because they match with the aesthetic of my bedroom. And honestly, I think these toys are such great gift ideas. By the time I upload this video, Christmas would have been and gone. But if you want to explore self-pleasure in the new year, if that's one of your New Year's resolution, girls, birthdays, next Christmas. And Nancy have very kindly given you guys a 25% off discount code. If you head over to hellonancy.com/Jordan25 and use my discount code Jordan25 in all capitals, you will get 25% off. So just to repeat that again, that is hellonancy.com/Jordan25 with the discount code Jordan25 in all capitals for 25% off. Thank you so much again, Nancy, for sponsoring today's video. As you guys can tell, I was so excited to work with them. I think they're such a cool brand. I love everything that they do. I'm such a stan. And yes, let's get to the tier ranking. Cheers, so before we get into the tier ranking, I have to explain my tiers, okay? Because we don't just do the S to F here. We jazz them up, we make them personable, we make them completely lack subjectivity. So last Christmas, I did my tiers in Christmas films. This year, I've decided to do components of a roast dinner. So the first thing, the top tier, we have pigs in blankets. Sometimes, like, I actually cannot believe that I was vegan for 3 years. I know people that were vegan and are no longer vegan, but like they don't eat pork or they don't eat beef and things like that. I really just went all in and I was like, I want meat wrapped in more meat. The second thing we have, which is a thing which I think maybe should have taken the top spot, and that is a Yorkshire pudding. Sometimes I cannot believe that Americans don't have the pleasure of being able to eat a Yorkshire pudding every Sunday, and specifically saving it to the end of your roast and then saving like that bottom oily part for the last mouthful. Oh! Next we have, okay, this one's going to be controversial. This one's going to ruffle some feathers. It's roast potatoes. Hear me out. When a roast potato is good, oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. But I eat roast potatoes a lot because I have a roast probably most Sundays. My truth is that for every 8 roast potatoes I have, there's like 1 good one. That's a very, very low ratio. I feel like good roast potatoes were something of my childhood. Like, I don't know whether my taste in food has just gotten more picky, but I feel like I haven't had a good roast potato since I was a child. Has the quality of a roast gone down, or have my standards just gone up? But no, like, I remember when I was younger, roast potatoes, they were so fluffy and they were so crispy, and now they're just stodgy. What happened? Next we have turkey. Now I will say, I'm not, okay, me saying this after I just say that I wolf pigs in blankets, I'm not a massive meat eater. And what I mean by that is because I was vegan for so long, there's certain meaty things about meat that I don't like. So I can't have any fat on me. I can't have meat that is too, this is so lame. I can't have meat that's too like juicy. I like need my meat to be a little bit dry. Like otherwise I get like when meat's a bit slimy and slippery and juicy, it makes me feel a bit sick. So a turkey, like I will say a turkey is probably one of my favorites because it leans more on the dry side, and I do like prefer my meat a little bit dry, but also, you know, it's not giving. Like I'm telling you guys, I could go for a roast and not have any meat. And I'm not talking about the vegan one. I don't want a nut roast. Guys, I went through 3 years of my life having nut roasts, never again. But like you could take the meat component and like that main component out of it and just leave the sides, and I would still be so happy. And then the last one's red cabbage. I know that everyone thought that the last one was going to be Brussels sprouts. Well, I'm not like every other bitch. Brussels sprouts are fine. I'm pretty indifferent to Brussels sprouts. If it has bacon sprinkled on it, I'll eat it. But red cabbage, who invited her? Again, maybe it's because I'm like growing up and like when I was a child, my mum would just put like meat and a Yorkshire pudding and gravy on my plate, and that would be my roast dinner. But I feel like red cabbage has just stuck her nose in everything for the past few years. Like I don't remember red cabbage being this prevalent until recently. It's one of those things where the taste doesn't bother me. And again, I think this is like a sensory this is a sensory issue. Okay, hear me out. There are certain foods that are invasively crunchy. I am not anti-crunchy food by any means. I love a nice crisp apple. I love like a very crunchy grape. But there's something about the crunchiness of bean sprouts, onions, and red cabbage that like hits a point in my brain that like I hate it so much. So that explains my tier ranking. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We are starting off this video technically with a lie, technically cheating, but also I'm planning on uploading this video on that liminal week between Christmas and New Year's where no rules apply. I hope if you're watching this video, you're watching this at like 11 in the morning on a Wednesday and you're cracking open your first drink. So no rules apply, but I can't talk about pop culture without talking about the news reporter that flipped off the camera on BBC. This diva! This mother has a name. This is BBC Chief News presenter Mariam Mashiri, and she apologized on Twitter after flipping off the camera at the beginning of a BBC News broadcast. She said, "It was a private joke with the team and I'm so sorry it went out on air. It was not my intention for this to happen and I'm sorry if I offended or upset anyone. I wasn't flipping the bird at viewers or even a person really. It was a silly joke that was meant for a small number of my mates." I cannot stop thinking about the face drop of it all. Like this is very Toni Collette. I love her so much. And you know, they released the full video as well to be like, see, she wasn't doing it on purpose. I would put this in pigs in blankets, but technically I am cheating, so I'm gonna put this in Yorkshire pudding. So something which happened in January was Saltburn was released in January. This has been the shortest yet longest year of my life. I've already made a video about this. You guys are gonna be hearing this phrase a lot of me saying, I've actually already made a video about this. My finger stays on that button. Despite the fact that I didn't really enjoy the film for its tepid class commentary aspects, I still love cultural moments like these. I love when people are talking about and watching the same thing. Like, I just enjoy that. That is my bread and butter. I love showing up to drinks or the pub or going back home to my housemate and being like, have you seen this thing? Have you watched this thing? And they absolutely have, because that's what everyone's doing. And I've never had an original thought in my life. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I said this in my video, there's a lot of things that I really liked about this film. I love the cinematography, the casting, Jacob Elordi's posh tough accent, that smash. But like the tepid class commentary, pass. And something which is really interesting actually that I didn't mention in my review, which I kind of regret, is a lot of people were telling me that they disagreed with my take on the class commentary and that's why they thought it was a good film. But my take, guys, is that even if I was to completely remove my sort of criticisms with the class commentary of that film away from it, I still thought the film was crap. Like, I still thought it was a bit naff. Style over substance moment. But I'm going to put Saltburn in Turkey. Oh, but Jacob Elordi looked really fit. Am I going to let Jacob Elordi being really fit sway this vote? Yeah. God, he's just so handsome. Like, he literally makes me like kick my feet. I don't even know the man. Why am I kicking my feet? Sometimes there is a piece of pop culture that is so perfect, so untouchable that there are no words in the English dictionary, in my vernacular, that I will ever be able to articulate how much I love it. And that for me was the immersive Willy Wonka experience. Oh, this event was organized by the House of Illuminati, naming your children's company the House of Illuminati, by the way. Bitch, what the fuck? This took place in Glasgow and the organisers charged, I can't quite believe this, £35 a ticket. And this is something that I've noticed with a lot of these like AI immersive events, that they will charge so much when it really should not be that expensive at all, especially when like most of these events, like these art events, for example, where they're just like immersive events like the Van Gogh one, where there's actually no original Van Goghs there. It's just like copies and green screens and projections and stuff. Something I noticed is that it's so expensive. Like, it's more expensive to go to these immersive events that don't actually have any of the original art pieces in than pay to go to an art gallery where you can see all original art pieces. But the thing is, these events, obviously the immersive Willy Wonka experience didn't do particularly well, but you know, those events like the Van Gogh one, they do really well because, you know, it's Instagram, TikTok fodder. You know what my take from this is? Don't go to these crappy immersive experiences. Go to an art gallery. Go to a museum. I'm going to see the Imaginary Institution of India at the Barbican on Saturday, and I'm so excited. And that was 20 quid. That was £15 cheaper than the Willy Wonka immersive experience. And it was also £5 cheaper than the crappy Van Gogh one. The way I went to that Van Gogh experience like 3 years ago, and I'm still like, that shit sucked. How did we get here? Oh yeah, so the organisers charged £35 a ticket, and the event promised chocolate fountains, giant mushrooms filled with sweets, special audio and visual effects, and a magical world inspired by Roald Dahl's beloved story. And this is what was delivered. It looks so decrepit. It looks like if an overcast sky was an immersive event. So I actually don't want to get too into this because I am planning on making an entire video about the immersive Willy Wonka experience, very a la my Wagatha Christie video. I want to make an entire video about it with props, but the actors working on the experience were allegedly given a complete like tosh AI script. The experience took 5 minutes to complete, and my favorite detail of all was all of the children were given half a cup of lemonade and 1 jelly bean. What's that? It's the unknown. And there was literally made up characters, aka the unknown, this diva. I could talk about this all day, especially the impact that AI has had on immersive and in-person events. There were rumours swirling around that this was a stunt pulled by British comedian Joe Lycett, but that actually wasn't true. And I digress. I am going to make an entire video about this. I swear this has got to be the first Pigs in Blankets event. If you listen to my podcast, you will know that this year was one of the most like insane years of my life. Crazy life changes were going on. There were times where I felt like my entire world was completely falling apart around me and I couldn't stop the passage of time and how much my life was changing. But the one constant that remained in my life was Club Chalamet. I really am trying to refrain from saying this diva, but this diva runs a Timothée Chalamet fan account, Club Chalamet. And I think what stands out to people about Club Chalamet is that when they think of stan culture and Twitter stan culture, they often think of young people, teenagers, and Club Chalamet is an older woman. And I don't even mean that in a shady way at all, but Club Chalamet gets where water can't. There are more pictures of Club Chalamet and Timothée Chalamet together than Timothée Chalamet and his own girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. And there are some Hall of Fame Club Chalamet tweets. Let me read them out. I saved them on my computer. Let me pull this up. Some Hall of Fame Club Chalamet tweets are: attention at Getty Images. Please remove the newest images posted under the search for Timothée Chalamet on your site. You have images there of someone who is not the actor Timothée Chalamet, but instead someone the global gossip media is having fun referring to him as Timothée Chalamet, lookalike with Houthi associations. Please remove the images of that individual immediately so that the image results of Getty accurately reflect the real Timothée Chalamet. Hashtag Timothée Chalamet, hashtag Getty Images. I love this one. I purchased some at WBD stock through my broker. If they are going to invest in Timothy, I'm going to invest in Warner Bros. Discovery. Hashtag Timothée Chalamet at Warner Brothers Pictures. I kind of admire her for being committed so hard to this bit. It's not that hard to invest if you have the funds to do so. Although Timothy didn't win the Golden Globe for hashtag Wonka that he deserved to win, it was great seeing him attend an event as a nominee. The elephant in the room is obvious, but all I want to say is that Club Chalamet remains devoted to supporting Timmy and his career. Also, something that was insane about Club Chalamet's law is that she didn't take a job in the World Trade Center.
No. Well, you don't want to hear about 9/11.
Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. In July 2001, I turned down a job opportunity that was located on the 102nd floor of the World Trade Center. Although the money was exceptional, the job was going to steer me in a financial direction I didn't want. Also, my gut instinct was on high alert to the point that I felt something was terribly wrong about this opportunity. I declined the job, and I've never done that in my life before or after. Always trust your gut. It's the universe trying to tell you something. That's crazy. I don't know whether this is real, but I found like a thread of Instagram comments of, I'm assuming they were talking about Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Simone, thanks for trying to encourage us, but I'm so sad and furious at the same time. For now, I'm empty. I hope he uses condoms. Trust me when I say he doesn't go that far with her. Just please trust me. What the fuck? You know what? I'm going to put Club Chalamet in roast potatoes. Who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando? Me. Oh my God, I've written diva in this script again. Sorry, I would like to say that I wrote this. This isn't even a script, but it's like, you know, a little guide along for me. I wanted to bang this script out as soon as possible. So I remember I like took my ADHD medication and I locked in. But the funny thing about taking ADHD medication is you're sort of going like, you're going, yeah. Like that thing of SpongeBob when he's like, I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then I read it back and I'm like, oh God, that's not very good. The Four Seasons Orlando baby. Yes, I'm still very rattled by this 1-year-old's fine motor skills.
The Four Seasons Orlando.
She is very much ahead of her peers.
What a splendid proposition indeed.
And let me tell you, seeing her sister get eldest sister syndrome in real time. Oh, God bless her heart. Praying for her future. I don't understand what it's like to be an oldest child because I'm a middle child, but I'm a middle child and I grew up to be a YouTuber, which is essentially the most attention-seeking job in the world. I'm going to put the Four Seasons Orlando baby also in roast potatoes. Her dad's really fit. Dilf alert. Sorry, I actually haven't even had anything to drink today. Like, I don't understand why I'm on such a high. It's Christmas. I'm doing this by months and June was an absolute stacked month. So the way I'm going to go through these pop culture moments is I'm going to go through them on the spectrum of sexuality. And I'm going to start with the straightest pop culture moment, which was the Hawk Tuah girl, also known as Hayley Welch. And she spoke on a street interview and was talking about she was talking about, she was talking about, and whilst she spoke in the street interview, she said she was going to Hawk Tuah on it. Fair enough. You know, it was one of these moments where you realize how much of your social media algorithm truly is an echo chamber. It was when it was announced that they were making a documentary about her that I was like, I've never seen this video in my life. But despite the fact that I've never seen this girl in my life, I don't know this man. She did blow up. She got signed to a really big social media agency. She had a documentary made about her. She launched her podcast. Just to further prove that I had not seen this meme for such a long time was I remember I saw a flag at Glastonbury that said Hawk Tuah on it. And I laughed because I thought it was like a reference to spit. And I was like, Hawk Tuah, like that's funny. Maybe I was picking up what she was putting down. I didn't even know there was a viral video behind it. I was just enjoying the flags at Glasgow. What I will say is good for her for capitalizing on her moment of virality and really making it work for her, because let me tell you, she is laughing her way to the bank. She's laughing her way to the goddamn bank. Her podcast Talk To is doing really well, and it has spawned reaction podcasts like Talking Talk To and also Talking Talk To. Sometimes I do actually think that, because no one in my family watches my videos, right? And sometimes I think about like, what would happen if my dad watched one of my videos? He'd probably be like, what on earth is going on? But a tweet I saw, which I thought was so clever, and I really want to flesh it out and make an entire video about it, is the fact that Ellen DeGeneres was an apex predator in the internet meme culture system. Essentially, when someone went viral on the internet, they would have their 30 seconds of fame on the Ellen Show. They would go on the Ellen Show, and that is where the meme would then die. The Ellen Show was like a conveyor belt of memes. Now there's no longer that rite of passage for people that go viral. Essentially, they capitalize on it now and they get signed and they do really well. And that's something that I find really interesting. Essentially, like the brandification of memes and like how meme culture is something to be capitalized on, because in this capitalist society in which we live in and this capitalist economy, everything can be capitalized on, literally everything. And I feel like that is what's making the internet really soulless and really stale. I'm planning on making an entire video about it, so I'm going to cut myself off, but I'm going to put it in Turkey just for the sake of the Talking Talk To podcast and the Talking Talk To podcast. Without Hawk To, we would have never had Talking Talk To or Talking Talk To. Do you know what I mean? Next is, during this year's general election, as in the general election in the UK, Rishi Sunak, who used to be our prime minister, he was the leader of the leader of the Conservative Party. He was very well known for being incredibly out of touch because he is really fucking wealthy. Some of his best moments are not knowing how to use a contactless bank card and pretending to be a man of the people by reciting his McDonald's order, a breakfast wrap, when the McDonald's breakfast wrap had been discontinued for a year prior. The Conservative Party lost by an absolute landslide this year. I mean, yay for Tories being out, boo for Keir Starmer being in. Yeah, I mean that. And Rishi Sunak was really clutching at straws to get these votes, and one of the ways in which he was desperately trying to get any votes, he was like, votes please, was by implementing a national service for 18 to 19-year-olds. I mean, haven't young people in this country already been through enough? How much more can she take? Now, some of you guys may be wondering, on the scale of sexuality in which I'm reciting all of the June pop culture moments, why is this not as straight as the Hawk To girl? Well, the memes which were born of Rishi Sunak attempting to implement a national service.
I'm not fucking going there!
I've done it now, it's too bleeding late. What are they gonna do? Gonna shoot me? I doubt it. They have to catch me first, I'm like a whippet.
Gold. Only gay Twitter could think of these. Like, Rishi Sunak had some cheek trying to implement a national service in this country. We already have a national service, like being in 222 A Ghost Story, being a member of the Sugar Babes, and playing Ben in EastEnders. I'm gonna have to put that on, but the memes were so good. Like, Rishi Sunak sucks, but the memes were so good that I think I'm gonna have to put this one in Turkey as well. I've already made a whole video about Brat Summer, and I know that the term cultural reset gets overused so much, but come on, who are we kidding? This was a cultural reset. The clean girl is dead. She's dead and buried. I don't want to harp on too much. I saw Charlie XCX in Birmingham and it was amazing. But then me and my friends, the last train to Birmingham got cancelled and we got stranded in Birmingham. Had a great night in the gay village though. Now, this would go immediate pigs in blankets if it wasn't for the H&M collab. I've spoken so much about fast fashion on this channel and I don't know what it is. I feel like recently there have been so many influencers that I follow that are just openly working with fast fashion brands and don't care. Even going to fast fashion brand events. Enough! Stop the madness! Come on, like the fast fashion industry is rotten to the core. Like it's destroying people's lives in the global south. It's destroying the environment. It's disrupting textiles trades. The H&M collab was so disappointing. The H&M collab is not Brat. I'm gonna have to put it in Yorkshire Pudding because the album is so good. But I am disappointed. Miss XCX, I'm disappointed. The Olympics were hosted in Paris this year and some noteworthy moments. I mean, the thing that actually stands out to me the most is loads of the swimmers getting sick after swimming in the Seine, and also Parisians threatening to shit in the Seine when the Prime Minister claimed that it was completely safe and clean to swim in. But for the first time ever, breakdancing was part of the Olympics. Breakdancing was an Olympic sport. And it was very much overshadowed by this dancer Rachel Gunn, also known as Ray Gunn, who went viral for being really bad at breakdancing. Oh, whenever I get anxiety, I think of this and I immediately feel better. She was so bad that there was a conspiracy theory that was really, really popular online, and it actually wasn't even true, that she created the governing body that ran the breakdancing qualifiers, which is not true, but God bless, because she was so bad that it was actually plausible to many people, including myself. I thought it was true for a hot second because I literally believe everything that I read on the internet. I'm no better than my grandmother. Not only was it plausible that she governed the breakdancing body that would have gotten her to the Olympics, but also 50,000 people signed a petition demanding that she apologizes. This was pretty crazy, but it wasn't like giving as much as everyone says that it was. Do you know what? Sorry, I'm really conscious of my posture because like I fear that being leant over my computer propping myself up so I don't have the posture of a prawn. Let's put her in Turkey. Very demure, very mindful, was coined by Jules LeBron, and I don't have any strong feelings about this apart from like, this was fun little subversion of what can sometimes be like misogynistic language, like demanding that women be demure. We're reclaiming demure. You know what I've been reclaiming recently, guys? I keep saying love and darling, like as in I keep like two strangers to men, like they'll open a door for me and I'll be like, oh, thank you, darling. Thanks, love. Like, oh, sorry, love. Sorry, darling. I'm reclaiming it. I don't know what's come over me or why I do it all the time. I don't know, but it makes me feel so powerful. Like it does. But anyways, it's fun. But something which has really stood out to me, and again, I'm going to tie this in with when I make my video about like the brandification of meme culture. And that is that God, whenever brands jump onto a meme, it is just where memes go to keel over and die, isn't it? And the thing is, it's not even necessarily like brands utilizing memes, because I get it. Like that is, memes are culture. Jordantheresa 2024, memes are culture. Like at least can we make some effort? And I think that's something that's really interesting about TikTok as well, is because TikTok's really fast paced and because anyone can make not only a TikTok, but anyone can make an ad on TikTok. I think a lot of brands are focused on like the quantity of their ads rather than the quality. AKA, I saw a beauty brand say that the way they were applying their lash serum was very demure, very mindful. Like that's not even funny. Like it's not even creative. Get a job, stay away from her. So I'm gonna put this in Yorkshire pudding. Okay, this next pop culture moment absolutely rocked my world and everybody else that lives in the UK. This affected people of all genders, ages, class, like everything. Molly May and Tommy Fury breaking up. Oh my God. I nearly ate my microphone. That's how gagged I am. Molly May and Tommy Fury met on Love Island. They were together for 5 years. They had a baby. They were engaged. They were perhaps the Charles and Diana of our generation. And then Molly posted this statement on her story. Let me pull it up. Guys, I've literally just laid eyes on it and I have shivers. Like I actually have shivers. Never in a million years did I think I'd ever have to write this. After 5 years of being together, I never imagined our story would end, especially not this way. I'm extremely upset to announce that mine and Tommy's relationship has come to an end. I will forever be grateful for the most important thing to me now and always, my beautiful daughter. Without us, there would be no her. She will always be my priority. I want to thank you all for the love you have shown us over the last 5 years. You have been part of our journey and I feel it's right to share with you all. Whilst I attempt to navigate the coming days and weeks, please kindly respect my privacy over this difficult time. I'll be back when it feels right. Molly May. Kiss. Oh my God. I mean, he cheated, didn't he? He cheated. And you know what? Something I really rate her for is she still refuses to say what happened for the sake of their daughter. I have to rate it. She's a better person than I am. I'd be like, fuck them kids. I'd be exposing. Oh God, this was just, I have to put this in pigs and blankets. Like this was genuinely, guys, such a cultural moment in the UK. Like I still cannot believe that they broke up. But you know what? She could always do better than him. This is the thing, is that I think something that's like a really important lesson to take from this is that it's never ever you when it comes to any kind of cheating or being fucked over romantically. As a dater, as someone who's single and I go on dates in London, it's the trenches out here. One thing that I will always take with me through the rejection I experienced, through the ways in which men are assholes to me, it's never ever me. It's always them. You can be the most attractive, the most successful, the most charismatic. If they're a type of guy that women over, they're gonna f you over. There's nothing you can do about it. I've already made a video about the substance. Do you know something I want to say? You know what? It's Christmas. It's a time for honesty. That video is not one of my best. And the reason why that's not one of my best, and I decided to try and cover it up with like, oh, this is just like a chilled video, you guys. Like, this is just like, treat this like a podcast episode. It's because I made it during my birthday month and I was literally just dossing about all month. You know, I feel comfortable saying of this now because it's Christmas, it's a time for honesty, but I absolutely loved this film. I loved it in a conflicted way. If you watch my video, you already know, like I was so conflicted about this film, but I still really, really liked it. But there are two things that happened after I made that video that have really, really stood out to me. Number one, Kim Kardashian not only posting that she was watching this film on her Instagram story, Kim Kardashian, babe, this is about you. Like, this film is about you. A part of me really struggles about like whether the Kardashians just rage bait or whether the cognitive dissonance is this deep, if it's this severe. But like, you know, me staring at Kim Kardashian watching The Substance as if her and her entire family haven't completely shaped the beauty standards of today and lined their pockets whilst doing so. And she also said, Demure looks great. Oh God, clearly missing the point of the film. But speaking of missing the point of the film, how am I seeing edits of The Substance, like The Substance edits of like real celebrities? So I've seen people saying that Addison Rae is Britney Spears if she took The Substance, and Sabrina Carpenter is Madonna if she took The Substance. And it's like these edits, and I'm like, guys, this is actually really messed up. Like, I feel like we all missed the point. But you know what? I loved this film, and I loved that it was, again, cultural moment. Love the memes that were born from it. I'm gonna put it in roast potato. Nothing has made it to red cabbage yet, you know. Trying to explain the picture of Paddington Bear walking the Queen, an XL bully, and a disposable vape to heaven to someone who isn't British is challenging, yes, but this is culture. Like, this is our culture. I can't actually remember when the disposable vape ban was announced in the UK, but it was essentially like doubled down on in October, where Keir Starmer said like, yes, the ban is happening. I believe that it is happening in June or July of next year. Do you want to know my truth? Thank God. Thank God. I used to vape and I quit. I think it was last spring, and it was so difficult to quit. And I would like to say that I social smoke and I can pick up and put down cigarettes absolutely fine. But vaping, I will never be able to touch a vape again. That was how difficult it was to quit. I'm not addicted to smoking at all, but I was addicted to vaping. And also, sorry, vaping is an ick. If I'm on a date with you and you whip out one of those guava, passion fruit, kiwi vapes, it's over. It's over. Smoke a cigarette like a real man. No, I'm kidding. The disposable vape ban, like, good. That was good. That's another roast potato. I was about to say roast potato moment, but that's like really made me cringe. Guys, sometimes I become so aware of like how internet lingo-y I speak that like when I speak to someone and they aren't on the same level of brain rot as me, I all of a sudden become very aware. I get the ick from myself. Like, it's ick inducing, but for me. I know that I keep saying this, but I have just made a video about celebrity lookalike contests and what they mean for the culture, the people are craving community. I still think that celebrity lookalike contests are that of beauty. We have the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest, Dev Patel, Zayn Malik, Challengers, Glenn Powell, Harry Styles, Paul Mescal, Rachel Sennett, this random man in London, and most recently the United Healthcare CEO shooter lookalike in New York. Pedro Pascal lookalike contest, my house tonight. This was so fun, especially the Timothy Chalamet one. That was so fun. This is gonna go in... Oh, I'm stuck between Yorkshire pudding or pigs in blankets. Me on the 25th. Haha, that made me cringe, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm putting in Yorkshire pudding. So I have two things for November, which is the US election, and literally the fabric of American society was shifting before our eyes. And during this, everyone in the UK was focused on how massive Gary Barlow's son is. Election, that's obviously going in red cabbage, horrendous moment. But Gary Barlow's massive son. So Gary Barlow, he's a singer in the band Take That, which by the way have absolute bangers, and I'm not afraid to admit that publicly on the internet. I'm not afraid for this to be part of my digital footprint. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. And he is like 5'7" and his son is 6'2", but his son is so tall, especially compared to the rest of his family. And the memes that were coming out at one point, my entire Twitter timeline was just American election, Gary Barlow's massive son, interspersed. It was not good for my brain. It wasn't good for anyone's brain. I mean, it was a really, truly beautiful moment. Oh, is it going to be in Pigs and Blankets? Yeah, sure. It's been a while since I put something in Pigs and Blankets. For December, I have Wicked. Like, yes.
That's my line.
I still haven't watched it. I want to wait for it to go on streaming because I don't think I'd be able to sit in the cinema for nearly 3 hours watching a musical. Like, it's just not my vibe. I'm sorry. Everything about this press tour has been so fun. And I think something that's like really stood out to me during Wicked coming out is like, I feel like everyone's default mode is being fucking horrible. Why is everyone so negative? Like, everyone wonders why they're so miserable. And look, I know everyone's going to be like, Jordan, you make video essays for a living. You talk about discourse. That's analysis. All right. This is different. People just hating to hate. Like, people are being so negative about a film that has not come out yet. Like, if it had come out and they hated it, fair enough. But if it hasn't come out yet and your immediate default position is to be so negative, like, is that not a draining existence? The Wicked thing is fine. I'm going to put Wicked in Turkey. Do I have anything else to say? No. You know what? There's like some stragglers that I didn't write in my script, but shall I just do like a quick fire rating of all the ones that are left in the bottom? So the first thing we have is Sugar Babe singing Push the Button to open a new lift at King's Cross. Camp. You know, I'll put that in Turkey. The Co-op Live Arena in Manchester, which has extensive lore. That one I'm also going to put in Turkey. Moodang accurately predicting the election though. I'll put her in roast potatoes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put Moodang in Turkey and then I'm going to bump up the Sugar Babes opening the lift at King's Cross Station to roast potato. I hate gay Halloween memes. That's easily going in Yorkshire pudding. In the club, we are fam. I love this show so much that is going in roast potatoes. I love Broad City. And you know, I actually haven't watched the last episode yet. Like, I started watching it at the beginning of the year and I literally burned through it, but I have not brought myself to watch the last episode yet. Oh, guys, don't make me say it. The healing powers of platonic love. Exactly. And then the last thing we have is Jeremy Corbyn winning Independent for Islington North. That is absolutely going in Pigs in Blankets. What a way to finish it off. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn. But yes, that's my tier ranking of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you for such a wonderful year. I am so exhausted. I'm so tired. I feel like I've like really amped up the video essays this year and I really, really can't wait for just like a couple of weeks off. I'm so excited. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I'm so excited for the new year, new video essays, all that good stuff. But yes, I'll see you soon for another video. Bye.